Not every Beatles track was adored by the Fab Four themselves. While their music revolutionized popular culture, even legends like Paul McCartney and John Lennon had their creative misfires, and they weren't shy about saying so. Lennon, in particular, was known for his brutally honest opinions, especially when it came to McCartney's songwriting. Even after the band dissolved, John didn't hold back in critiquing his former partner's most celebrated works. One of Paul's most iconic songs, Let It Be, failed to impress Lennon. In a 1980 interview, he shared that the track didn't feel like a Beatles song at all. It struck him as something better suited for McCartney's post-Beatles group, Wings. He admitted he couldn't quite understand what Paul was going for with it. Lennon's sharp tongue wasn't reserved for McCartney alone. He also turned it inward. He once confessed a strong dislike for his own track, It's Only Love, cringing at what he considered clumsy, awkward lyrics, and calling it among his weakest efforts. McCartney, too, has shown humility in reflecting on the Beatles' less inspired moments. One such example is Little Child, a song featured on their second album, With the Beatles. Described by Paul as a quick filler piece, it was written primarily to give Ringo something to sing. With lines like, I'm so sad and lonely, loosely based on Elton Hayes' Whistle My Love, McCartney admitted the song was more a product of necessity than creative spark. If there was one track both Lennon and McCartney could agree had missed the mark, it was Hold Me Tight. Originally written by Paul in 1961 and credited jointly, as was customary, to Lennon-McCartney, the song endured a rocky road. The Beatles first attempted to record it during their famously exhausting one-day session for Please Please Me in 1963, giving up after 13 failed takes. It was revisited months later during the With the Beatles sessions, and though 9 more takes were recorded, neither Lennon nor McCartney ever regarded the final product as anything more than album padding. Paul later admitted he barely remembered writing it, labeling it a half-hearted attempt at a single that wound up as a forgettable album track. Lennon, on his part, distanced himself entirely from the tune, saying it was mostly Paul's idea and one he never really cared for. Music critics didn't offer much redemption. Roy Carr and Tony Tyler called the song Uninspired in the Beatles. An illustrated record, blaming its flatness on McCartney's muddled melodic vision. Rolling Stone was even harsher, branding it horrifying. Yet not everyone agreed. Music historian Ian MacDonald later argued that, cranked up with bass, the song transformed into a raw, explosive rocker, a glimpse of the band's early live energy. Even the most brilliant artists have their off days, and the Beatles were no exception. For all the masterpieces in their catalog, the band was well aware that some songs were just stepping stones on their path to greatness, proof that even musical geniuses occasionally miss a note.